Good afternoon, sir. Honorable members, welcome to GEMA webinar. We are privileged to have among us Mr. Harry Grover as the member speaker. Mr. Harry Grover is having 35 plus years of versatile experience in carbon dioxide. He is the promoter of Big Carbonic Private Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary of Big Groups, one of the largest manufacturer and distributor of carbon dioxide in India, supplying to Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, and all major fertilizer and automobile industry. Along with CO2 business, he runs the ethanol plant of 300 KLPD E20 Greenfuels Private Limited based in Haryana. Inherited experience of CO2 in ethanol industry. I invite our knowledge partner to start knowledge share. Over to you, Mr. Harry Grover, sir.
Rekha, thank you very much.
Well,
All of my friends in this industry, everybody knows me. We are running an ethanol plant with the name of E20 Greenfuels. And thanks, Dr. Jain, first of all, and Arushi also, for requesting me to take this webinar on carbon dioxide in ethanol industry. Everybody is aware of the fact that today what we are going through in our ethanol plants, like the waste products. I'm talking today, it's not the waste products. Like DDGS and CO2 plays a very vital role today to get our calculations and mathematics back to get our profits in the plants. DDGS itself, when I started E20, we were selling at around 25 rupees per kg. But today, with the change in scenarios, we are selling it around with the now the rice has come into the rice. I'm talking about the FCA rice. So yesterday also we were discussing when everybody, all my friends were there in that meeting also, Zoom meeting also. So today the rates are almost around 18 rupees plus for this DDGS. Similarly, today we are discussing about carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is basically a fuel. Everybody doesn't knows about it. Carbon dioxide is not just a mere, we call it as a CO2 for fish. सबको ये लगता है कि यार ये सोडे में डलता है या
मेरा बैग
ये
ले
ही है। जैन अंकल नमस्कार।
नमस्कार
जैन अंकल।
हेलो
तो आई वाज जस्ट टेलिंग दैट हर एक मिथ है कि कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जो है ये सिर्फ एक चीज में लगता है, CO2 जो है सिर्फ एक बॉटलिंग प्लांट्स में लगता है। इसकी मार्केटिंग पता नहीं क्या है, लोगों को डरा रखा है इतना लोगों ने कि some people are afraid of putting their investment into a carbon dioxide industry in our ethanol plants. So today in our webinar, जो जैन अंकल का भी वही मोटो है कि we should understand that CO2 say we are generating very good revenues. So I will share some figures of E20 also later in the webinar. But to start with, I had with me my colleague Mr. Ansari, who will just brief about Big Group. What we are doing in Big Group and what then we will start from the assumptions where we are having it at हमारे प्लांट में से कितना CO2 निकलेगा. मतलब जब लोग प्लांट भी डिजाइन करते हैं तो गलत गलत चीजें बता देते हैं because most of the people in this industry those who are selling CO2 plants they are basically not the manufacturers, they are basically a seller of the plant. So once they sell of the plant they gets back into the from the things. But in and out, since we don't only sell plants, we sell liquid carbon dioxide also. We almost sell around 8,000 tons of liquid carbon dioxide every month from our 11 locations which we are running. So I would explain how we can make money from CO2 in ethanol industry. So that's the basic concept of our webinar today. जो जैन अंकल भी चाह रहे थे कि हम सबको पता लगे कि यार जहाँ पे हम लोग कोई लूज कर रहे हैं या आरुषि जी भी का भी मोटिव था तो we should not lose it. My all fellow members should know that CO2 is a very vital part not only for environment but also for making money also. So first of all, I will tell Ansari to just brief everything about the organization.
Good evening. Brief about BIG. Coming to BIG, the name BIG is not it's like growing big day by day. So coming to its
voice is not
history,
clear sir. Mr. Ansari, voice is not clear. I'm sorry to say. Please come closer to the mic and then speak.
okay, sir.
Little less. Is everybody happy about the noise?
no, sir. Sir is not
Voice is very
audible.
Not audible.
Less audible, sir.
Hello, sir.
Sir, your
Audible,
voice is
sir?
very low.
Very low audible, sir. चलिए स्टार्ट करिए चेक कुछ सिग्नल में खराबी है क्या स्टार्ट प्लीज
So what I was telling that BIG group was incorporated in the year 1989 and since then it was no looking back. We are the company from last 35 years 3 decades of manufacturing carbon dioxide, dry ice, putting up skid-based CO2 plants in all locations, whether it is in breweries or whether it is in distilleries or whether it is combustion-based. So we provide all types of solution. So our motto and our vision is very much clear. We provide skid-based plants to all locations-wise, and our head office is incorporated in Bathinda, and we are producing liquid carbon dioxide around 750 tons, metric tons per month, as sir has told, and we are catering all major beverages like Coke, Pepsi, breweries, everyone. So I just wanted to show you some presentation what we have prepared for this. So carbon dioxide plays a major role in greenhouse gases, as everyone knows, and it contributes to major climate change. So what is greenhouse gas? Greenhouse gas are those which contribute to greenhouse effect, which is regulated by carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen oxide, hydrofluorocarbon, and perfluorocarbon. So we all know what are the effects of greenhouse gases. It easily entraps the sun's heat, keeps the earth warm. Too much gas in the air leads to climate change or warming, and the major role is played on carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide, where we are getting, it's coming from fermentation as a byproduct. Whenever a fermentation is taking place, whether it's in grain based or molasses based or sugar juice, the ultimate the product is glucose. When the product is broken down to glucose, that is CH2OC, which you can see in your screen, it is broken down to ethanol and carbon dioxide. The ethanol comes as a product of glucose, and carbon dioxide comes out as a byproduct of the process. So this is the major source of carbon dioxide in India. Combustion based is also a source of carbon dioxide, which is easily available in Gulf countries. And there is a fertilizer also a source where we are getting the carbon dioxide through fertilizer in chemical chain reaction. So this is an overall of process flow diagram or how CO2 is being generated through a grain-based distillery. This is the overall flow diagram of CO2, how we are purifying, how we are manufacturing, and how we are recovering gaseous CO2 to liquid carbon dioxide. The entire process is approved by ISBT, Coca-Cola, and PepsiCo.
You want to share the screen?
Pardon, sir?
You want to share the screen, please? To show the. अगर मैं आपको स्क्रीन शेयर कराऊं तो आप शो करेंगे फ्लो डायग्राम स्क्रीन पे?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर,
रेखा शेयर करो स्क्रीन, इनको होस्ट बना के.
सर की स्क्रीन ऑलरेडी शेयर्ड है.
मतलब he can show his things?
Yes sir, it is visible sir.
Okay.
Sir, process flow chart of liquid carbon dioxide is visible on the screen.
It is not visible to me, yaar.
Sir, but it is visible on the screen.
Okay, that's fine. When it is visible, then it's fine. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, sir. Ansari sir, go ahead, please. Go ahead, sir. Now it is visible.
So these are the briefing of CO2, what we are doing. Scrubbing, removing of liquid, moisture, and then batching the liquid. So this is the overall electrical and safety control system.
So sorry for interruption, but again your volume is very low.
I hope it's okay, madam.
Yeah, sir, now it's fine.
Now it's okay.
So the screen was just showing it's what you are seeing. It's electrical and PLC control system where we are controlling the process of liquid CO2 initial to final displacement. So this is the purely controlling from PLC and SCADA base. So this is the SCADA based system, and the left what you're seeing, it's an online analyzer imported from USA, which ensures the quality controls for liquid carbon dioxide, which is approved for Coca-Cola, Pepsi, IS Beauty, breweries, and all major countries. This is the analysis report what we are getting tested for Atlanta, USA, and which supports the purification and quality concerns of CO2, what we are achieving at the end of the process. And this is the something which sir would like to share, the which revenue. Thank you, sir.
Can you show me
So
the
that
slide
was-
before?
Yeah, I will do it, sir. I will do it.
Yeah.
It was a little small presentation about Big Group. I think that is not too much required in this webinar today, because our webinar is basically focused on what we can do with CO2 in the ethanol industry. My friends who have not installed the CO2 plants, my friends who are going to install the CO2 plants, and most of the questions are what should be the capacity of the plant as relative to distillery production. Like if it's a 100 KLPD distillery, what suggestions we give to how much, what quantity of plant we need to build up for that, and then we will come for the other two things which is very important in carbon dioxide. Like I told earlier, what is the revenue model, and second is the safety aspect, because recently everybody would have come to know that lots of incidents have happened in the ethanol industry as related to something happened in the CO2 plants. Like there are incidents which have been done, which has been put into the groups also from the last 10 days, which has happened in some of the plants. So we should ensure the safety also. The safety concept also will take in this webinar today. So first of all, I would like to let you know I will take you back to the process flow diagram of the distillery. So this is what, since we are running, we are as a part of GEMA with Jain uncle working hard to bring this industry into a profitable model, and CO2 plays a very important role. So first of all, the question rises from where this CO2 occurs. That is nothing to be hide off with you or something which is very clear with us, that fermentation when happens, as Ansari told earlier, CO2 is evolved automatically. You and me cannot stop it. Neither we can reduce it, nor we can it can be more, the generation can be more. If somebody says I can generate more CO2 for you, he is just bluffing you. So neither the generation can be more or the generation can be, it's a complete chemical formulation where it says that whatever is the required capacity of the distillery, like I'm running a 300 KLPD plant. So my plant is producing 100 tons of CO2 every day, 300 tons of CO2 every day. It is as straight as that. But what is the capture quantity of CO2? Now that the question is, हमें capture कितना होगा? Because everybody knows when the fermentation starts, fermentation का एक cycle होता है. Fermentation पहले एक peak, we cannot close the fermenters immediately when we start filling the fermenters. The reaction starts at when the fermenters come at 25% or 30% levels. When we add enzymes to our fermenters, then the fermentation takes place, and then is the time when CO2 gets involved. So I give it a very thumb rule to that concept. 40% is easily recoverable from each and every distillery. So don't get to the wrong concepts where somebody says that in a 100 KLPD plant I'm producing 50, 55 KL. You can produce it, but it is something like that. A 100 KL plant can produce 120 KL for a 1 day or a 2 day or a 3 day process. But when we talk about consistency, because today we are talking about a plant economics also, but plant has to be put up. So it's a simple model. When I put it for you that 100 KLPD can bring 40 tons of CO2 easily. It's a thumb rule which we can capture easily. For a 200 KLPD model, we can go to 80 tons. For a 300 KLPD model, we'll go with 120 tons of CO2 plant. So in E20, we are running a 120 TPD plant in Dabbali, Haryana, and it's my own distillery, own ethanol plant. So I'm running that plant for 120 KLPD. And yes, some of the days, good days, when we do achieve 130 tons also, 135, 140 tons. But the thumb rule again says that 120 is a plant which should be fixed up. So that conception should be very clear with all the members over here, that you need not to ask anybody कि हमने कितने का plant लगाना है. Then you should be very clear in that frame of mind.
I have
Second
one
point,
question. I have one question. Just
yeah,
I got
sure.
confused. What do you mean by recoverable?
So recoverable is like when the distillation starts. I told you earlier, the fermentation when it starts. Sorry, not distillation. Fermentation starts. We cannot close the fermenters immediately. There is a three type of fermentation. One is the slow fermentation when it begins when we start the fermentation. Then the fermentation, there is a cycle of fermentation. Then it goes to the peak. Peak means when you have a gravity of 40, 45 in a grain, when you talk about grain distilleries. Then again the fermentation goes down. So the most of the CO2 is recoverable when it is in the peak position. So when a fermentation cycle in the grain distillery is almost around 60 to 72 hours, depending upon from distillery to distillery, process to process. Like Praj has its own process, Regreen Excel is its own process, Webco has its own process.
I got it. Just to cut in, do you mean that if it is 40% recoverable, the 60% is emitted to the atmosphere?
Yes.
Yes. The 60% is not recoverable. It's a thumb rule that whenever you are planning a plant, you should make it sure that 40% is recoverable 24/7. And see, in CO2 plants, the basic is your positive pressure at the suction. You cannot enter air to enter into your systems in CO2 plants. So it disturbs the complete CO2 plant. So that's why I always call a thumb rule. So 100 KLPD can easily perform with 40 TPD of CO2 plant.
See, the thing is that one in
I think I'm clear in that, sir.
nowadays the CO2 capture and then is
Sir,
mandatory.
let him complete. Sir, let him
Yeah,
complete.
yeah,
And
yeah.
please,
We can have a
take
question at
the
the
Q
end.
and answer. Otherwise,
Yes,
his
yes.
rhythm will over. Let Mr. Grover speak.
Yes, all
We'll
my
ask
colleague
later.
members are having, they have certain questions into their mind. We have last 10 minutes or 15 minutes, then I will be answering all your queries also, such queries on all that. So first of all, we are coming on that it is for us, it's a thumb rule that 40% is easily recoverable. I'm again saying the word, which is easily recoverable, and your plant will not run into losses. And CO2 is basically what we are giving into CO2, your CO2 and your electricity. So it will give you a electricity boost also. It will save you electricity and your plant will run smooth. The CO2 plant will run smooth. So the first point the second point I'm coming into is what we do in CO2 plant. So 40 tons, like I give you example, 40 tons is captured. So that is a flow diagram which Jayan uncle ne usko kadi bola tha to stop, just briefing you a step by step little bit into is. First is there are two things into our ethanol industry. That is the major part is smell. We need to, when we talk about food and beverage industry like Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, they had their certain standards. They had their standards which we need to comply to supply to them. Every year that industry is growing around 25%. Now Reliance has also come into by the brand name of Campa. They are also coming into a very big way into the market. So every year that market is growing around 20 to 25% in beverage segment. And in beverage segment or in fertilizer segment, I would again say there is now a huge scope of carbon dioxide as fuel. Nobody was earlier aware what we call as carbon dioxide as fuel. So for my fellow members, I would like to tell them that what is fuel? Fuel, like anything, for our running of car, petrol is a fuel. So if you are going to run a fertilizer industry, like our India is a deficient country for fertilizers, we all know it. We use fertilizers in our own ethanol plants. So ammonia plus CO2 makes urea. So when you talk about fertilizer urea, so ammonia plus CO2 makes urea. That's a simple formulation. So in most of the plants in India today, where there were ammonia was I would say excess with them, and CO2 plants were smaller and CO2 plants were not that efficient with their running. So they are buying CO2 from outside and mixing it with ammonia and making a surplus urea into that. So there comes CO2 as fuel in fertilizer industry. Secondly, CO2 for fuel comes in, like green methanol technology is coming up, which I will be discussing later on with this. Like there are very big companies like I would say Prashant Bhaiya is doing very good into that. He's putting up his knowledge. Jan Uncle is doing, everybody's working hard for that. For green methanol and green ethanol. So green ethanol, I want to say, yes, ethanol can be also made from CO2. The days are not far away that you will be seeing green methanol and green ethanol which is being made from CO2. There is where we will get the right money for our systems, what we are investing into the our plants right now. So I was just briefing you about this little bit of screen which is in front of you. So this foam traps is basically it is one of the equipment which is being put up before the production houses, just to ensure that whenever there is any foaming in the fermenters, it should not enter into a CO2 plant. Just to stop that foaming, we placed one equipment over there which is called foam trap. Then we come to blowers with motors. That mean to say the gas from the fermenters need to be sucked out from the fermenters. So blowers make that part very easy. So we provide blowers over there, which is automated, everything controls. Then LP scrubbers, HP scrubbers, just to control the moistures and smells from the, to remove the smells from the gas and other impurities. Impurities in grain ethanol industry is not that critical as compared to our molasses-based industry, because in molasses the smell of the product is very high. In grain there are certain toxins which are very low, so it is easily removed with scrubbers and all that. Then there's compressors where we boost the pressure to 18 to 22 kg to 18 to 22 kg, or we say 18 to 22 bar, depending upon the usage and depending upon the plant criteria, what plant we are putting up. Then we have activated carbon beds to remove the smell. Everybody knows we are using this in ethanol industry for water and all that. Then comes dryers. It saves the same functions what we are doing in ethanol. In ethanol, we are using molecular sieves to dry our ethanol. Here we are using these dryers to remove the water from the CO2, right? Then from the dryers, we take it to the cooling system, where in big group, we specifically make sure that the whole this plant is automated, and even our cooling system is automated with screw compressors to save the electricity and all that. Because new generation, we have to look for new ideas, and we have to look forward that where we can save our energy costs. I always believe that energy is a very big aspect. Where the energy goes is into two aspects. One is your cooling system. It has to be efficient, and energy is heat. So heat goes into your cooling tower. So do ensure that whatever you are installing, the cooling towers has to be perfect for CO2. Like we in our ethanol plants also, the energy loss wherever, like winters and summers, everybody knows we when we design our plant, we make sure the wet bulb temperatures, the wet bulb temperatures for ethanol for cooling towers, it has to be maintained. So my whole team makes sure, and we make the perfect figures into that. Like most of the people are not aware of this fact. So the heat is basically goes from the cooling towers. So whatever we are cooling for CO2, the heat loss is done from the cooling towers. So the next step, there is we after cooling, that is what we call liquefaction. Then we transfer it to the recirculating vessels, where the quality of the product is being checked as per food and beverage grade, and then it is transferred into the storage tank, where we transport it to the end users. So as I was discussing, there are different end users into this. Like I just briefed you about fertilizer industry. Then there is the lot of is being used into MIG welding also today. These days, it is playing a very major role. Then water purification. Like big companies and steel industries are using CO2 for water purification process, where they have to maintain the pH in the water. So they are maintaining the pH levels of the waters with the CO2. And then the foremost, or what we all are working today for this aspect is green methanol. So we are all trying hard to make the system smooth to manufacture green methanol and green ethanol from CO2. So there are a few companies which are working on it, and we are also a part of those companies. We are linked up with them, so that whatever we can give our insight knowledge for CO2, we can stand with them, and this could be used as a regular fuel, and this should not go waste into the atmosphere. One major concept comes into this is a small data, Jan Uncle and everybody, which I am sharing with you guys. This is internal for my E20 plant. This is a revenue per day and revenue per year and working. So I would say, if you can see that figures, and if you can see that this This is the revenue model for a 300 KLPD plant, where we have put a 120 average production of CO2. We are taking 120 tons of average production of CO2. Now, as you can see that we have taken a very nominal sale price of 50 paisa per kg. That is 500 rupees per metric ton, which is a very, very nominal and I think the least available in the market, because I don't want to give any wrong revenue pictures to my friends. The CO2 is selling at 20 rupees or CO2 is selling at 15 rupees right now. And but the second major component which I discussed with you is electricity. How much electricity is consumed while making CO2. So I take it as a privilege that all the big plants, we almost on an average, we produced one unit can produce 5 kgs of CO2. So that is where we count it as the average power consumption of our unit. That's like 5 kgs from one unit, right? And that comes to be the average. We have taken a sale price because since electricity is involved into it, so sale price of electricity, if you can say, we are consuming around 12,000, touching 12,000 units of average power every day, which is also a revenue model for all of us. We should look into. And I had taken the sale price of 6 rupees per kilowatt for that electricity, which is I've taken it all over India. Wherever we go, somewhere it will be 550, somewhere it will be 6, somewhere it will be 650. But 6 rupees is something which costs us as a distiller or as ethanol plant manufacturers. So if I take into account, this costs you almost around 1 rupee 50 paisa per kg, including your power cost and including your gas cost. So something, a revenue model, if you look into revenue from power and sales, this comes to be 4 crores 35 lakhs in 1 year. So it's a huge revenue model for us. So we need to understand that we should not vent CO2 into the air, and we should get into such models where we can get revenue from out of our waste. So in E20, yes, we have achieved very good figures this year. The revenue model, what we are showing is we are almost touching 31st of March. We'll be closing to these figures. What is on your screens? This was something which is a revenue model. If we want to have over 2 minutes, we can discuss on it. Then I will go into the safety aspects of the CO2 plants in the next slides, where we are lacking and what we should do. If you want me to
how
continue,
are you adding the power sale, power revenue? Why? How you are adding that power revenue?
Sir, power, I'm telling you that one unit will produce 5 kgs of CO2, Jayanakal.
How?
So that is what cooling system we are providing to our CO2 plants and whatever. Most of things, people even claims that one unit will produce 6 kgs of CO2. But on an average, again, I would say it's an experience for us that 1 unit of power will make you around 5 kgs of CO2.
Correct. So this power you have to put in, na?
Yeah. Power we have to put in. Power we have to give out from self-regulated turbines. So power is a very big factor when you put up a CO2 plant.
So how do you get the power as free?
No, we don't say power is free, sir. I'm telling you data that 50 paisa has been considered for the gas, and this 2 crore 37 lakhs of revenue is from power.
This is not, I'm sorry, I'm not able to understand why this revenue, this is a cost.
Sir, that is what I'm saying. The revenue from power, we sell around 71 units in a particular time period. That's okay. It is being calculated by 6 rupees per unit.
No, sir, if I may answer, sir, I will answer your query. Basically, what sir is trying to say is that there are two models when it comes to setting up CO2 plants. One model is one wherein that is the distillery owner invests on the CO2 plant and commissions it. There is another model in which some companies, that is the CO2 company, will come and install a CO2 plant. So our job over there will be only to give them the CO2 and the power. They will produce the CO2, take the CO2, sell the CO2, market the CO2. That is not our headache. So they will tell us that, okay, I will buy the CO2 at this price. So in that model, the revenue from, so this is the revenue. So in that case, yes.
But you have to spend money for power or not?
No. So basically the person who will invest on the CO2 plant, let us say there is a company called Sigil, for example, they will invest on the CO2 plant. So when they invest on the CO2 plant, you will give them two input sources. One is you will give them the raw gas
Sir, I will
and you will give them the
give
power.
us. Yes, Shiva Kumar sir, I will come to this revenue models also. This was just a figure to let you know that how much, if somebody says that CO2 is free and you are selling it at free, it is not free. I have just shown you one figure that even this power cost to us, we are running our fuel into it. So power is not free for anybody in ethanol plant. So I have considered the price of power at 6 rupees per kilowatt, Janakal. To make it a little bit clarity into this, like CO2 we says it's free, but I would say okay, CO2 is not free. Let us free some amount on it. So I said today, if I want, at least I would get 50 paisa per kg for the CO2. So that is just a roughly model to understand the things what I'm doing in E20. So how to calculate my profits from the CO2. The plant is of E20, but just to check it out, I'm just sharing this model to you just to understand that what revenues you can easily get from CO2.
Yes. Okay.
Abhinav Kumaraji, if you have any questions, you can please continue. Please let us know. Otherwise, I will take it on the last.
Yeah, please go ahead. Next.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Abhinav. So this is just a model to let you know how much our revenue, because balance sheet says something else. But I'm telling you that we are not selling our CO2 free to anybody.
Yeah,
Anybody
sure,
is putting
sure.
And you have to make sure that you are selling power to it.
Okay.
So if you're doing a calculation, it will roughly comes to be 1 rupee 50 paisa per kg.
Yes.
तो 1.5 रुपए हमारी अपनी कॉस्ट है। मैं ये अपने दोस्तों को बताना चाह रहा हूँ कि जो भी हम लोग इथेनॉल प्लांट चला रहे हैं, आप एक चीज मान के चलिए कि हमारी 1.5 रुपए तो अपनी कॉस्ट है इसको चलाने के लिए, जो हम CO2 प्लांट को चलाना चाह रहे हैं. That is the only. Now I come to one of the major aspects of this safety aspects of CO2. Some of the guys who are very renowned members of this groups also, they are aware that CO2 is something which is explosive. So all the CO2 plants which comes under this ethanol industry, they have to be they have to get the permissions from PESO. So what is this PESO? PESO is Petroleum and Safety Organization. So basically, this is a department which deals in petroleum explosive safety organization. So wherever there is a chances of any explosion or something like that, we take that permission. We take this permission for storing our ethanol also in our ethanol tanks. Now, the pressure in our plants, which I earlier explained it to you, it's almost around 20 bar. So most of the plants which are being installed in ethanol plants, they don't adhere to the safety norms, and some incidents do happen. And recently we have done 2-3 or couple surveys on the request of our fellow members. Some incidents have happened. They have called us up, Mr. Grover, please come to our plant. So I particularly requested them, sir, I will not be able to visit your plant for this purpose, but definitely I will give you my know-how in this webinar to understand where we lack and where we do not comply with the rules. So please make sure whenever we are putting up a CO2 plant from any organization or any group, it should be a renowned group and they should have a vast experience of CO2 and running plants. They should not be a mere dealers who puts your plants and runs away from there. And recently, I will show you some of the photographs a few days back, which has happened, an incident which has happened in one of the ethanol plants. Just for your brief knowledge, this is a CO2 plant, which has a vessel in that plant, ACF plant has just blown off. So, which has, you can see the condition of the plant, what has happened into it. By God's grace, there was no casualty into the plant, but the whole plant cast has been scattered into this flame. So, there was a lot of queues in the market when people saw these figures. I can just share with you. So, this is a vessel which blasted off. So I just want to let you know that CO2 is not just a mere, we take it as a granted gas. It is a mere bomb and something we have to take the safety precautions when you're putting up the plant, and all the guidelines of PESO and everything needs to be adhered to. So my fellow members, do take care whenever you are putting up the plants. it should be tested, and all the safety walls and all the equipments should be from the renowned buyers or renowned suppliers. I would love to help you on this. If any of my fellow members wants me to let you know that which are the best equipments available in the market. This is a plant which was hardly 1 year old. The other aspect I want to tell to all my fellow plants is this is 1 year old, and even the ethanol industry which was set nearby, it also suffered lots of damages, and the plant was closed for, even the distillery was closed due to the blast in the plant. So whenever we are choosing our partners, please make sure that the partners do know the in and outs of the CO2. They should not be new to the projects, and they should be aware of the CO2 hazards. And you should also be aware about the CO2 hazards. And don't compromise on any safety specs when you are giving the orders of the plant or something like that. Because at the end of the day, it is your money and it is your plant. That's all from my presentation today, and I would love to hear the queries and the questions from my fellow members today in regard to CO2 and in regard to all other aspects.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, yes. बोलिए
Yeah.
जरा.
Sir, my name is Rajiv Agrawal. I am from HPCL Mittal Energy Limited. My query is not related to CO2, but it's related to ethanol. That in Punjab, the permit fee of ₹1 per bulk liter has been implemented effective from 1st April. So, what I understand, because we have written letter to the OMCs also, they denied to pay that amount. So that is going to hurt the profitability of the ethanol company. So what is our stand with regard to that?
We didn't get you, Rajivji. Can you explain it once again? Because we
Yeah.
are today on a webinar on CO2. If you are
Okay.
relating anything out of CO2, I think you are on a wrong platform. Then you can get into us at the end of the time when Jan Uncle will take 2-3 queries
Okay.
at the end
Sure,
of the
sir. Sure.
webinar.
Sure, sir. Sure.
That's on the
Sorry,
discretion of Jan Uncle. That's not my
sorry,
discretion
sir.
at all.
Sorry.
अरे यार, मैं सबको जवाब दे चुका हूँ, पहले भी दे चुका हूँ ये जवाब. एनीवे सर, एक बात बताएं, आप जैसे बोले कि रेवेन्यू तो आ गया है, इसकी कॉस्ट क्या आई फिर?
Cost,
रेवेन्यू
sir,
तो
it
आपका
depends upon
435 लाख लगे. आपके कितने पैसे लगे इसमें, जो कॉस्ट जो आई आपकी?
जैन अंकल ने बहुत बढ़िया वो चीज बोला है. जैन अंकल, इसमें भी एक थंब रूल मैं फिर बोलूंगा. जिस तरह हमारे when we talk about KLPDs in plant, we always says whenever you put a 100 KLPD plant, 1 CR is equal to 1 KL, right? So I'm talking about a food and beverage plant. I'm not talking about an industrial plant. Whenever any of my fellow members are putting up a food and beverage plant which has to be approved by Coca-Cola and PepsiCo, because the time which is coming up, we have to invest
आप
in all
स्क्रीन
in
बंद
food
कर
and
दीजिए, फिर
beverage. Let
आवाज
us make it very sure.
ठीक हो जाएगी.
Right. So उसमें 100 KL will cost you around, but the 40 TPD plant will cost you around 4 CR, and multiplied with the same figures which I have discussed with you. So if you're putting up a 80 TPD plant, it will go up to 8 CR. If you're going to put a 120 TPD plant, it will touch around 12 CR.
Okay. So tell me whether this is marketable everywhere or there is a specific market in the space area, like Bihar people, like we are also suffering that nobody is a buyer for there. So what to do with them?
Sir, I again tell you, it is all assumptions. I am running when I put up my E20 plant for a 120 tons per day, there are assumptions because I won't be able to run the plant, I won't be able to sell the material. We have but yes, market takes some time to develop. We can't oversee like DDJs also what we are doing today, Jan Uncle. We all know about it. When we started our
it
plant,
is picked up.
you were not able to sell. Yeah. The similar thing is for CO2, the market needs to be developed, and we, with our member partners, as big group and member partners who joins us, we make it sure that we dwell that market with them.
Okay.
Today I'm proud to say that today I'm in my fellow members in this group, I'm running in Dhanuka Biotech. We are coming up in Suflam. We are coming up with the Dhanuka one more project with that 3. So when I met the owners over there, they were a little bit, Harry, do we do an agreement on sales? I said, yes, we should do it to make us comfortable on both the level fronts. And since the start of the plant, he never calls me up. Reason, he is aware that whatever we are producing, we are selling. So we have, it took us around 2, 3, 4 months to make that market, because in our carbon dioxide, even the tankers plays a very major role, and the investment plays a very major role. I just explained you about 12 CR or 8 CR for putting up a CO2 plant. But one road tanker also costs around one CR. If you are going for a road tanker today, one road tanker costs you 1 CR. So for a 40 TPD plant,
how many tankers are required? सर आप स्क्रीन बंद कर दीजिए तो आवाज ठीक हो जाएगी ग्रोवर सर
I think it was little bit 40 minutes. I will connect myself to the. If everybody can hear me, sir.
Yes. Now we can hear.
Yes. So, अंकल जो आपका पॉइंट था उसमें यस द इन्वेस्टमेंट्स जो मैंने अभी बताई हैं उसमें CO2 प्लांट्स की और भी बहुत चीजें लाइक वी कैन डेवलप अ मार्केट बिहार या असम इज नॉट नथिंग लाइक दैट वी कैन नॉट डेवलप अ मार्केट डेवलपमेंट ऑफ मतलब मार्केट इज एवरीवेयर इन इंडिया
Okay.
मार्केट इज एवरीवेयर इन इंडिया ओनली वी हैव टू टैप दैट पोटेंशियल मार्केट लाइक कोक एंड पेप्सी हर जगह बिकता है सर ऐसी कौन सी जगह इंडिया में जहाँ पे कोक पेप्सी नहीं बिकता
ओके ओके सर मेरी नॉलेज ये है कि इसका नेट कंट्रीब्यूशन ₹1 पर लीटर आता है इथेनॉल पे इज इट राइट इट इज रॉन्ग
Sir, that is what I had shown the figures to you that for a 300 KLPD plant, we are generating a revenue of touching around 4 CR. So, अगर हम capex की बात करें, तो if you can take it out, yes, it is around ₹1 we are getting it. I tell my fellow members very उसमें कि यार हमारी सैलरीज निकल जाती हैं सबकी. मैं हंसता हूँ कि बहुजी जब भी हम प्लांट लगाते हैं CO2 का तो एटलीस्ट जो हमारा सैलरी एक बहुत बड़ा पार्ट रहता है एक डिस्टिलरीज का या इथेनॉल प्लांट का तो हमारी सैलरीज निकल जाती हैं CO2 से दैट यू हैव टू इंश्योर दैट कि वो आपकी सैलरी सारे प्लांट की डिस्टिलरी की निकल जाएंगी उससे
अच्छा हाँ अब इतना ही खर्चा आता है ₹1 के लगभग आता है सैलरीज का तो वो निकल जाएगा
हाँ जी हाँ जी हाँ
जी
सो ROI is
मतलब
good
₹1
return on
is
investment
net revenue minus cost is ₹1
yes
is right
right Janat right
तो ₹1 तो बहुत बड़ी चीज है हमारे लिए इंडस्ट्री के लिए ₹1 तो बहुत बड़ी
yes
चीज है
yes again वो जो आपका पॉइंट था jointly we needs to build the market
और
it is something jointly we all guys need to build the market like कल भी हम बात कर रहे थे भैया is working on it for a green methanol so he मतलब there are industry there are he's trying मतलब there are industries in like Norway guys are there who are entering India there are other industries also like who are into green hydrogen who want to CO2 and make it into a green methanol so the days are not very far away I think so
yeah correct isn't it fertilizer units by CO2
yes sir no it's we started this around 6 years back but yes now not every fertilizer unit but almost one fertilizer unit in a state do buys it the old plants they do goes to buy CO2 from outside
okay
my question to you is could you suggest some companies who do in OPEX model
sir OPEX model is something which is not very feasible these days for the entrepreneurs as I told you because like lots of ethanol plants have come up so
okay.
we have now introduced a new model into that which is we call it as operate basis model that because these days earlier when the CO2 was very limited the bank loans to all these agencies were very easy they do provide the bank loans and all that with lots of ethanol plants coming up there lots of crops which has come into bank loans of CO2 so in that case what we do is we tell owners you invest with us we invest in your distribution we invest in your quality we invest into your production activities we invest into your distribution of products with you. And you, because since we cannot invest into your plant, so you put up a plant with us and we will take care of the other things.
Okay.
Yes, the technology will be all big group.
Grover, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, sir.
This is Arnav from Zuari NVN. Sir, thank you for a nice presentation, sir. Sir,
Thank you very much.
I'll ask you two questions to you, sir. You mentioned that analyzer. It is mandatory. Is it mandatory to install that because it may be a bit expensive?
Sir, it's a very good question, Abhinavji. Some people, yes.
Okay, my name is Arnav, sir.
See, should I connect myself? Just I will speak.
Yes, please, sir.
So yeah, your point was very valid onto that. Sir, only if you want approval for Coca-Cola,
Okay.
then these analyzers are mandatory.
Okay, so if I want to sell to the Coke, then I need that analyzer.
Not able to hear. What happened?
Maybe sir, he has left already from the call. Maybe we can't see him. Right?
Yeah, we can't hear Mr. Grover at all.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Oh, you are on mute, Mr. Grover. You are on mute. Only your lip. If we know the lip reading, we could read you what you are saying.
यार मैं आपको एक बात बता रहा हूँ एक्चुअली हमारा सबसे बड़ा रीजन मेरा ये है क्योंकि अभी हमारा पीछे लास्ट ईयर में डेवलपर था हमारी स्ट्रैटेजी थी वो आपको शायद आपने शुरू में भी देखी होगी कि आपने कुछ भी नहीं ली है ना देखी थी ना वो आपको दिखाई होगी शायद
सॉरी यू आर नॉट ऑडिबल
तो उन्होंने इतना मतलब ज्यादा पंगा करना चाहा कि नहीं ये तो कॉपी
I'm audible, Rekha?
Now you are.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah. So I will. The question was, is the analyzers mandatory? I think that was a question from one of our fellow members.
Correct, sir.
I'm right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I just already heard you that. You told that if I'm selling to that CO2 particular to the Coke, then it is required, right?
Yeah, then it's mandatory.
And that is to be approved by Coke as well. We have to do that.
Yes. You have to take the analyzers which have been approved by Coca-Cola. See, Coke and Pepsi have their own guidelines. They don't diverge from their guidelines. So you have, whenever we are putting up a plant, I would always tell my partners, I call all my who's with me in the CO2 industry. Tell them when you are investing your money, we make sure that we supply both to Coke and Pepsi. So once you are there, both have the different parameters of, but almost it is equivalent to ISBT rules. It's International Society and Beverage Technology rules which they follows.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. And second question, sir, as you are a supplier of CO2 plant, as well as you have already installed a CO2 plant, obviously you have a drain plant. So what are you suggesting as your fellow members we are? So on a boot basis or we have to invest a capex investment?
Sir, I'm again saying campus investments with I'm very clear into this coming time. Like Prashant Bhaiya, if you have yesterday we have come to some dialogues and all that. See, if I put up a plant, suppose a big group put up a plant into your premises, we will be getting a certain tie-up with you, like for permanent rate of 50 paisa gas and 6 rupees of electricity, which we will be taking from you. Tomorrow we start make green methanol or green ethanol. What is the future of that industry then? Then we'll be looking up this CO2, what we are looking at 50 paisa today. then you can fetch it at around 10 rupees, 11 rupees, or maybe 20 rupees a kg. So I would always suggest that you put up your own plants and have a tie-up like that. That tomorrow, if we convert into green ethanol or green methanol, we should have a win-win situation for both the organizations. It should not be one-sided.
Okay, understood, sir. And you told that suppose a Thambul 40 TPD plant, you told 4 crore is the investment, capex investment. So
Yes.
it's only
Yes.
plant and machinery or including civilities?
No, it's plant and machinery.
Okay.
Right.
Thank
you.
What is the
Thank you, sir.
OPEX cost?
Pardon?
What is the OPEX cost? Operational cost?
Operational costs are not too much into the CO2 plant. I had already explained you it is around, main is power and other is your operational costs are your manpower. So power costs I've already discussed with you, and for manpower it hardly comes to be 10 paisa per kg, not more than that.
Mr. Grover, do you manufacture dry ice, and what is the thumb rule for conversion of CO2 to dry ice?
Again, a very great question. I think I missed it out. Can I know your name, please?
My name is Raymond Peter. I'm from Centenary.
Yep. Yeah, Peter ji, a very good evening. I think I missed out in my presentation for dry ice little bit. Yes, dry ice equivalently has a very good market. So always when we take it in the ratio of 1:1.5. So 1.5 kg of liquid produces 1 kg of dry ice. And dry ice in the coastal, where my friends all are located into coastal belts like near to Goa, near to Delhi, NCR region, or you are based in Maharashtra, near to Mumbai, there is a very big scope of dry ice also. So dry ice definitely gives you a certain boost into this and a good revenue also into this industry. But where I am bringing into my plant in Haryana, because from my Haryana plant, Delhi is almost 300 kilometers. So it is very difficult to transport into 300 kilometers with the competition into the market. So any plants with radius of 50 to 100 kilometers are very profitable in terms of dry ice.
What is the selling price for dry ice? Normal average selling price or expected price?
Today 7 rupees plant.
कट की थी आपकी आवाज?
Sir, a normal selling price is 7 to 8 rupees plant as of today, depending again from location to location.
Location to location. Okay, right.
Yes. But
right.
averagely you can take it 7 to 8 rupees per kg is the price of dry ice today.
Okay. And what is the additional investment for doing converting? And what is the
whatever
cost?
Whatever cost I have told you that includes dry ice machines. Okay. No additional cost is required into that.
Okay.
I just forgot to let you know about dry ice into my presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, dry ice presses are included into that. It just need a dry ice press and a recovery system which is included.
So what is the ratio of dry ice and carbon dioxide in this 4 crore rupees? I mean, out of 40 tons, 10 tons is dry ice?
No, sir. For dry ice, see, sir, for dry ice, I should let everybody know. Dry ice, it's simply the solid form of liquid CO2. When we solidify the CO2, it becomes dry ice. Now we have to just install one dry ice press over there, which makes dry ice either in pellet form or in block form. So that depends. The machine starts from 100 kg per hour to 500 kgs per hour to 700 kgs per hour. So preferably we always tell customers to always install 2 machines of 500 kgs per hour block machines. Wherever there's a pellet requirement, we can go for 500 kgs pellet machines also. That is again depending from market to market.
Good evening. Tiwari बोल रहा हूँ.
Yeah, good evening Tiwari ji. How are you?
Fine sir. मेरा पॉइंट ये था सर, जो ड्राई आइस का पावर कंजम्पशन कितना होगा सर? जैसे आपने अभी डिस्कस किया कि 1 kg 5 kg के लिए 1 यूनिट लगेगा, तो ड्राई आइस में कितना लगेगा सर?
सर ड्राई आइस इज अगेन उसका रेशियो वही है, मतलब उसमें जो आपका जो मोटर कैपेसिटी है दैट इज नॉट वेरी बिग फॉर द प्रेसेस, इट इज हार्डली 15 to 20 kilowatts of motor. Again the compression, when you compress it, the ratio is 1:1.5.
Okay, sir.
1.5 kgs of liquid CO2 produce 1 kg of dry ice today with good machines. Okay. If the machines are not that good, equipments are not that good, I've shown you some of the equipments which you have seen earlier on the screens. If then both your investment investments and your other things are at risk. So normally with good machines, you get 1.5, 1 kg of liquids, 1 kg of dry ice from 1.5 kg of liquid.
Power consumption same रहेगा sir.
Power consumption like 15 kilowatt ka motor, so it doesn't make a very big difference.
Okay, thank you sir.
Very good, yaar. Hari, you are a very intelligent boy. Huh? I am very happy to educate the entire industry.
Just ask them to
It's my privilege, uncle. It's my privilege.
Yeah. And I will request you, if somebody asks you, you please give them the best guidance you can.
Surely, sir. I'm always there with my fellow members. Anytime, 24/7. They need not only for CO2 also. Anything they require. Jan uncle knows it very well.
He's available. He's a very good by heart. He is very good by brain. He is very good by nature. Everything is good with him.
So nice of you, uncle.
Yeah.
This is Santosh from
Anybody else can need something else?
Yes, Hari ji, good evening. This is Santosh from Asago. मेरा क्वेश्चन यूटिलिटी से है, आपका जो वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट है CO2 प्लांट के लिए, तो जो अभी सभी को इसी मिला है, आई थिंक 4 KL पर BL मिला हुआ है. इसमें जो आपका कूलिंग वाटर मेकअप एंड HP स्क्रबर एंड LP स्क्रबर में जो आपका वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट है,
तो बिल्कुल है सर.
तो कैसे बैलेंस करेंगे, कैसे मैनेज एंड अदर, वो इस वाटर को रिसाइकिल नहीं करते हैं, तो उसको कैसे हम रिसाइकिल एंड रीयूज करेंगे?
Santosh ji, again a very wonderful and technical question which you have asked. It all comes because I am running an ethanol plant in Davali. So see, Paraj always says that whenever you wash this CO2 with water, we will not take this water back into our system, right? Yes. But again, I had put up a branch plant of 300 KLPD here in Davali. I had a big questions with them on this. कि मैं जो गैस को ले रहा हूं, these are coming from the fermenters. I am just washing the gas and LP and HP which is coming from the fermenters. So how can the COD and BOD can rise into it? First of all, my question is this with Praj, where they were unable to reply. Second is, whenever they do provide a foam trap at the top of the all fermenters, like whenever you are running your plants, Praj provides a foam trap over there at the top, which they call it as a scrubber, CO2 scrubber. From the CO2 scrubber, we take the ethanol back to the any types of, when we scrub it, we take it back to the beer well. In most of the Praj plants or most of the industry, we take it back to the beer well, so that we can recover a little bit of ethanol what is there into this vented CO2. So again, whatever HP and LP water we are using, it's all recyclable. We are taking it back for our beer wells, or we are taking it back for the making our liquefaction plant. For making our, there is no, every distillery is doing the same thing. So we can't waste even a single drop of water with our technology. You will not waste even a single drop of water. Whatever we will be washing, we will be giving you full proof ideas and full proof of our technology, so that you can take that water back to your system without any hindrance.
If we take this water into the beer well, the heat energy will be high.
No, it's not like that, because if we are taking into fermenters also for making up the bub and all that. We'll give you that technology. Once you join our hands with us, we will share that technology with you, Santosh ji.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Any other question?
Good evening, Ravi ji. मैं निपुण जैन बोल रहा हूँ, इंडो न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी प्राइवेट लिमिटेड से.
Yeah, good evening, निपुण जी.
एक्चुअली हमने प्लान लगाया हुआ है CO2 का 17 में MP में. तो मैं पूछना चाहूंगा कौन से सेक्टर्स पे हम फोकस कर सकते हैं CO2 बेचने के लिए?
सर, पहले आपका बीवरेज प्लांट लगा है कि इंडस्ट्रियल प्लांट लगा है निपुण जी?
इंडस्ट्रियल प्लांट लगा है.
सो दैट इज व्हाट मैंने, अगर आपने मेरी पूरी वेबिनार को अगर ध्यान से सुना हो, मैं people like you are being frauded by the companies where they tell that you can sell the industrial product into the market. No doubt, industrial product can be sold only for the welding purpose. I again request everybody, when you are putting up a CO2 plant, don't make your investment for industrial only.
Okay.
आप उसको थोड़ा upgrade करवाइए, उसको आप food and beverage में लेके जाइए. You can sell into fertilizers, you can sell into Coke, you can sell into Pepsi, you can sell into beverage industry. I will give you a lot more ideas how you can sell your CO2 into that. But first of all, you have to upgrade your plant to food and beverage grade.
Okay, ji. Okay, ji. Thank you. Thank you.
Any help you require, you can personally message me out. I will be there with you.
Okay,
No issues.
thank you.
So thank you very much, Mr. Grover. You had given a very good insight how to make our units more viable, because we all are struggling with the costing. We are all struggling with the high feedstock cost. But these will help. These such things will help, and I think the webinar we are taking up is quite interesting. More than 50 people had joined once upon a time.
Yep.
So this is getting very popular. So I will request all our members. Somebody has some new idea, please share with other members. Yes, this is a certificate appreciation for you, Mr. Grover.
Thank you, Uncle. Thank you
Thank
very much. Thank you
much.
from GEMA. Thank you, all my members. I'm really proud to be a part of GEMA, and I'm very proud to be associated with a very good working team of GEMA.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir. One last thing I want to ask to all of you.
Yes,
sir,
sure, sir.
Any of you are extracting corn oil right now from your distillery?
Corn oil concept is coming up very fast, but I think nobody have started it yet. But Jan Uncle would be having some better review on the
That's
Jan
why I
Uncle.
asked James
Yeah,
also, because he has a very old distillery.
I've talked to a couple of people. They have put up the tricanters there, but they are on the initial stages.
Yes.
So the best example I can give you, the Kartik Sarup, who is attending, he has put up it. I think he has got some problem. You can talk to him directly.
Jan Uncle, we would appreciate if next webinar can be done on corn oil.
Okay,
sir. That's my suggestion also, sir. Thank you so much.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
If anybody of your fellow members can contribute on that, it will be really great on corn oil.
Yeah, I will know. We'll find out. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you from
Okay,
the bottom of the heart
thank
for listening to all our webinar from the last 1 hour. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
So we are very thankful to Mr. Harry Grover, sir, as a valuable knowledge partner. Please accept a token of appreciation from GEMA. This
Thank you, Rekha.
certificate of
Thank you very much.
appreciation will be sent to you by mail also, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you once
Thank you very
again,
much.
sir. Good evening, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Bye. Bye.
Bye, sir.